we need your help. You interested? Well, basically, what we're going to do is we've decided to kidnap the teenage girl of one of the drug baron cartel person who hired the other drug cartel person to kill your the one who killed your family. Well, that one worked for this one, so we're going to kidnap this one's daughter and then pretending we're a rival group, and then we'll pretend to rescue her as ourselves, and then we'll try and make a deal. But it'll probably go wrong or something. So if it does, we'll have to leave you stranded and find your own way back. Not my idea. Well, kind of was. Alright, I'm in. Just don't betray me. Yeah? Sorry, looks like we are going to have to disband you after all. Things went a bit tits up. What? No! I told you not to! I don't like this part of the plan any more than you do, but it's necessary. Not really, kind of. Oh, you motherfucking Americans. I'll just look after this little girl then until I can get her to safety or something. So, you want to be a Sicario? I suppose. I mean, they're not really that much different, are they? I mean, both sides kill lots of people. Ah! See? They're pretty much the same, apart from one's drug cartels, and they're pretty cruel, and, you know, they kill people's wives and children just because. And, yeah, whilst the Sicarios, they kill the shitfuckers. Basically, we're the good guys. We're pretty much on behalf of the government, more or less, because we don't want innocent people to get hurt. Often. So what do you say? Sweet. Thanks. Sorry about the, soz. Let's begin. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of Sicario 2 Soldado. Soldado. Soldado, or something along that lines. In America it's known as Sicario 2 Day of Soldado. Can't remember what the word actually meant. It was in the opening, a bit like how the Sicario information was in the first one's opening. By the way, I've seen the first one as well. I watched it at the time of recording. It's Thursday, July the 5th. Yeah, July the 5th. So I watched the first one last Thursday. I think it was Wednesday, the June the 27th. I think it was June the 27th. I think so. Yeah. And I watched the second one at the cinema on Tuesday the 3rd of April, of July. 3rd of July 2018. So, yeah, the first one, I'll quickly do some thoughts on the first one. I thought it was pretty good, despite a pretty complicated plot. I do think Emily Blunt's character was pretty unnecessary, in all things considered. She's the main character, but to be honest, I think it would have been better if we just followed Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin's characters throughout the movie. I don't think Blunt's character was actually that necessary. Well, turns out that a moral high ground character like Blunt's character in the first film was not needed for this instalment, so she wasn't in it. Plus, she would later go on to have Mary Poppins Return commitments, so that probably also didn't help. So, and this film, the second film, pretty much has, well, no Blunt's character, so it pretty much is Del Toro and Brolin's characters going alone. But even then, it still feels like a very Benicio del Toro show for the most of the time, as things take a turn for the worst for his character about halfway through. I'd say for his turn for the worst, I mean, he gets separated, and then later Brolin is being ordered to just leave him to his own, and Del Toro is pretty much, yeah, he goes through a bit of hell later in the movie. Ouch. All in the name of protecting a child. The story, as you may have gathered from the sketch, is that the Sicarios, the Americans, kidnap a drug baron lord's daughter from just after school, and they take her pretending to be another band of drug dealers, and then they pretend to rescue her from the pretend drug dealers, drug barons, so they can make a kind of a deal with her father and all that. But things go a bit tits up about halfway through, so in the end Del Toro has to find and protect the girl after she runs off, whilst Brolin has to go back to base and is kind of called off the case, but he kind of has his way of trying and stop another bunch of cartels who are doing stuff that Del Toro's character gets involved with for a little bit, and they take the girl, but she's then rescued by Brolin, who takes her back to America to be safe, whilst Del Toro, when I say he goes through hell, he gets beaten, tortured, and even almost shot. There is this one kid who I'll talk about in a little bit, because he's kind of important, but he has a lot of stuff that is, but I say kind of, but only for that bit. The rest of his time on screen isn't really. I'll get to it. He shoots him in the head, or at least that's what it appears, but it turns out he shot him through the sides of the mouth. Ow! Nasty. So, it's that kid. Just want to quickly, briefly talk about something from the first film. In the first film, we spent a little bit of time with this Mexican police officer, apparently, and all of the scenes he was in were were nothing, contributing nothing, apart from he's a Mexican police officer, there's some dangerous stuff happening. Maybe he was I thought maybe he's one of those police officers hunting down some of those drug people, drug cartels, when they're coming, or one of the American escorts. But no, the reality was actually pretty disappointing. He was actually one of the police officers working with the cartels, and Del Toro pretty much kidnaps him and makes him drive for a little bit until he gets to one of the cartel's friends, I suppose, and then kills him. And it kills both of them, and takes the cartel's friend's car to get to the cartel. Yeah, so that character we had a lot of time with that character, and it contributed to near nothing. This film, we've got another character on that line, but this time he's a little bit more important to what happens. It's a teenage boy, I think his name's Miguel, not to be confused with the one from Coco. I'm not sure, I can find his name in the credits, so I'm not sure if that's his actual name, but he's a teenage boy, maybe a slightly older one, so he's somewhere between 14 and 18, I suppose. It's just a normal boy, Mexico, just near the Mexican border, which thankfully is not yet to become a wall, although, granted, I suppose stopping drug dealers smuggling people across the border, that's one thing that would stop that, but anything else and drugs, of course, and anything else, not really, no, just no. So anyway, this kid, he kind of gets involved in joining the cartels, and eventually does, and becomes sort of an important junior member. And in the end, he's one of the guys who takes some some immigrants across the border, And then later he recognises Del Toro from when he was in America for a bit, leading him to be exposed and tortured, basically. So, and then eventually the kid is told to execute him after another one fails to do so, and is executed for that. So the boy supposedly kills Del Toro's character. So that's all he was important for. Recognising Del Toro's character, recognising he was a cop or with the authorities, and then having to kill him. Or so it seems. And then later he pops up at the end and Del Toro's character hires him to become a Sicario. About a year after the events of this film. Maybe we'll have more importance in the next one if there's another one. But that brings me to the end. I know I'm jumping quite far. I'm jumping to the end. I haven't even spoken about the rest of the movie, but jumping to the end, I want to make this clear. The ending, at least the first one had an ending. The first one, I prefer the story to the second one, but the first one was a bit more cohesive as a story. It had a beginning, middle, end, I suppose. Ending saw Del Toro's character get revenge on his family by killing the cartel who killed them and his family. Plus, we see the end of Blunt's character's story, I suppose. I guess. But this one, Brolin saves the girl and kills the drug cartels, and Del Toro is left in the Mexican desert, and then later, a year later, recruits the only member of that cartel group that didn't get shot in the previous scenes, who bailed just before that happened, and he hires him to become a Sicario. So, I guess, but it feels like it didn't really wrap up the story of the film very well. I don't think it wrapped up the story. I think the first one did it a bit better. I don't even think the first one did that great of a job, besides the killing of besides Toro's character getting revenge. But besides that, I don't think it wrapped up Blunt's characters very well, but I think it did at least wrap it up. With this one, both films haven't really done a good job in wrapping up Brolin's character story of the film. And to be honest, I think this is going to be another one, because this is the next chapter in the Sicario saga. So there's going to be a third one. Hopefully they're going to take what happens at the end of this film, what they're teasing. This Miguel kid is joining as a Sicario, and there's going to be another mission like there was in this film. Maybe we'll see the girl again, I don't know. Maybe we'll see Blunt's character again, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really worried about seeing Blunt's character again. I wasn't really worried about seeing her in this one. So I wouldn't be worried. Like I say, I think Brolin and Del Toro could carry this film on their own, and maybe the Miguel character becomes more important next time. As for everything else, acting-wise is pretty good. I can't speak Spanish, but at least we have the subtitles up, so that's good for people who can't speak English. As for the Spanish people, I'm sure with the other way around, where it's mostly Spanish-speaking, they have the Spanish subtitles, or they have the Spanish subtitles for the English bits, or it's all in Spanish, so they're going to have a field day. So yeah, the acting is great, especially from Del Toro and Brolin. Like I said, I think Toro's character is really great. Again, he's following up his revenge mission, as well as also showing a caring side. I liked how he was pretty much being kind of like a surrogate father in the second half of the movie to the girl, who is played very well by the actress who plays her. She does a good job. And Brolin, I think he does a good job as his character. He's a bit better in the first half of the movie. I don't like how his character is, I suppose, made to change halfway through. Like, he just abandons Toro's character in the desert and only really comes back to rescue the girl at the end, I suppose, and stop this group of cartels. I guess he was kind of going after Toro to help him, but it wasn't completely clear. I mean, it was implied, I guess, because they were following his tracer, and they were trying to find him and the girl, but I don't know how, because they were kind of told to just leave him or kill him themselves. So I don't know. It's not completely clear. I did like how it was started though, with the whole kidnapping and the pretending that they're different drug dealers, then pretending to rescue the girl. So that was all interesting. That was really good, as well as Del Toro pretending to be as well as them pretending to be part of a rival drug group to kill a lawyer or someone for a group, and I think they're pretending that the group that they killed the lawyer from is the one that kidnapped the daughter, and it's a little complicated, but it's child's play compared to what comes later, and some of the stuff from the last film. And I suppose spending the time with Miguel also makes a bit more sense, because we're seeing the smugglers' side, the people smugglers across the border. Although, mind you, they don't really... there's also something very interesting at the start. It's implied that they're smuggling terrorists across the Mexican-US border. That they're coming from ships to Mexico and then being smuggled across the border to commit some terrorist acts that we see. That was very interesting. I suppose that's really what kicks the gears into it, but I think they drop it about halfway through, again. It's pretty much the motivation and important earlier on, but then as we go a bit further down, it gets less important, it's more focused on other stuff. So, especially, apart from the people smuggling is still kept quiet through. Miguel is kind of trained to kind of take these people across the border. And he kind of does it with quite a cold heart. There is this woman who's struggling to swim, and he's saying, leave her. I think they do. Maybe one or two people stay back, but I don't know. Quite cold-hearted. I guess it shows his change from a normal school kid to a little bastard. Until he joins Del Toro, in which case he might be a bit better in the next time, but we'll see. Also, I don't know if he actually... if he intended not to make it look like he killed Del Toro by actually just shot him through the chin so he'd still be alive but made to look dead, or if he just wasn't a very good shot. So taking from his reaction at the end, it was probably the latter. He was just not a very good shot. Or Del Toro was just very lucky. Yeah, but the border stuff was very interesting, and the Miguel stuff was a bit more important to show the character changing from how he was at the start to how he is at the end, as well as to show the growth of the group and the crossing the border. Yes, like I said, the scenes with the Miguel character very similar to the ones like the police officer character in the last film, but a lot more important to the overall story to the film. It is, I mean, as well as also thinking about it, the character, it's growing the character, especially if he's going to be in another installment. So, yeah, it helps that it grows character, and it helps that we show the group, and it shows part of the plot, and eventually leading up to him busting and later attempting to kill Del Toro's character. Was in the last film, the police officer character, he could have just been any police officer character. He could have been anybody. And take out the other scenes, maybe one scene to show he's the police officer of this kid and his family. He's part of this family who are at the baseball court at the end, but you could take out all, if not most, of those scenes, and it wouldn't matter to the overall story. It's just a random guy. He doesn't even get to live afterwards. He's killed. So he is almost irrelevant, apart from 1, 2, 3 scenes at most. So, Miguel here, he's a bit more relevant. So I can take these extra scenes of this other character, unlike last time, like in the first one, where it's like, oh God, do we need these scenes? Just go back to Blunt, Del Toro, Brolin, or somebody important. Some shouty people outside, leave them. So, yeah, not really much else to talk about Del Toro. I suppose the high-ups aren't the greatest of people halfway through. But to be honest, there's a lot of movies with high-up characters, especially the American ones, who aren't exactly the best of people. They're not exactly the commanders you'd actually want in real life, but sadly they're probably based on other real ones. So, and historicals, they are based on historical figures. So, yeah, I'm mainly talking about. So I'm mainly referring to the Bourne series with that, and also to actually watch Mission Impossible today, and kind of referring to that as well. Hopefully we'll see the others. And then number 6. But not just those ones, there's other cases. I think Bond just about escapes it, apart from maybe a little bit of License to Kill. But basically there are authority figures in some films, and I say authority figures, I mean the people in charge, who can be absolute dicks sometimes. So in this film, halfway through, they just change their minds about, well, Del Toro's character at least, and some other stuff. So they're not exactly the best people. And even Brolin isn't that great of a person, if you come to think about it, in either film. I'd rather have Del Toro in charge, or even Blunt, even despite her character being pretty much that, blunt. And that's blunt as in dull, boring, not as in Emily Blunt. That's who plays her, but the character is pretty a blunt character. And that's blunt as in boring, not blunt as in played by Emily Blunt. You get the picture. So, yeah, but even her would have been a better person in charge, but despite that, but still, you gotta live with what you got. I don't hate Brolin's character, but I just don't think he's the right person for the job. But then again, he's way better than some of the other people for the job. In the second half of the movie, so yeah. So we'll see what happens next time. Maybe Del Toro takes charge or something. He's definitely the lead character in this one, and he gets a lot more screen time, even though the last act of the previous film he got quite a lot of screen time, and it was pretty dedicated to that. So I have no idea what happened towards the end of that film, the last one, until the revenge mission got underway. It just got very confusing. This one was a bit more easy to follow, but I don't know, execution-wise it isn't amazing. And like I said, the ending doesn't really work as well. I don't think it's as coherent. I don't know, there's just something that makes it like, wait, that's it? That's the end? As opposed to last time where they kind of did wrap it up. This time, not so much. No, not really. It's kind of left open. That's going to be another one. But as for this film, as an ending for this film, not really. No, not really. We'll see what the next one brings, if there is going to be another one. Again, I'm not going to be praying for another one. I think I'd be praying more for Oceans 9 and 10 more than Sicario 3. But like 9 and 10 of Oceans 9 and 10, I would be happy to get another Sicario film, but it's not something I'd be wishing for. If it was to come out, I think it'd be out in 2021. There seems to be these group of films that have a release of films every 2, 3, 4 years of each other, and they repeat that pattern. So Sicario 1, 2015, 2, 2018, 3, if it comes out 2021. 2015 had a couple of films that was 2018, we also have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, sequel to Jurassic World 2015. We had 2015, we've had Spectre followed Bond after a 3-year gap, although the next film is going to be in 4 years. It will be 4 years later, next year in 2019. Then Avengers 1, 2012, 2, 2015, 3, 2018 with a fourth one in 2019. Ted 1, 2012 and 2, 2015. No third one in 2018. That's disappointing. I enjoyed those films. 2014 is the one that has the most notable films having 3-year gaps. You've got Kingsman. Well, Kingsman was technically 2015. Kingsman 2014-15, depending on. I don't know. It was 2015 really for a release, but some people were saying 2014. 17 for the second one. Third one will either be 19 or 20. Paddington 2014, second one 2017, third one if it's going to be happening 2020, again could be 21. Guardians of the Galaxy 2014, 2017, 2020. So, yeah, there seems to be a whole group of films that seem to be having 2, 3, 4 year gaps between each other. And also, Mission Impossible, we're going to get back to that. Number 4, 2011, 5, 2015, 6, 2018. That's 4 and 3 year gaps. So, yeah, and, yeah, that's a pretty good, it's pretty patterny. Most of them are pretty patterny, especially ones that are released in 2014 having sequels in 17 and 18. Not 18, and 20. Or 15, 17, 19, if that's how Kingsman works. But I thought it was 15 for the first one. I'm not sure. It could have been 14 for some people, but I think it was 2015. That being said, the third one could easily be 2020, as it could be 2019 or 2021. So, yeah. So it just feels like that. There just seems a lot more pattern these days. Anyway, so that's really Sicario 2. I'm going to finish off by saying it is a 8 out of 10. I would say the same about the first one. It's an 8 out of 10, but I think this one is, again, slightly better. I think generally recently these sequels have been slightly better. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Paddington 2, Kingsman 2, what else? Blade Runner 2049, I think it's on the same level as the first one. Adventures 3, obviously. Well, maybe actually, I'm not sure. I'm going to give the first one a watch again, and the second one soon, but probably, actually, to be honest, it could be. What else? There was Star Wars Episode 8, better than 7. And pretty much all of them, apart from 6, obviously, in my opinion. Yeah, quite a few of them recently, in the past year or so, have been better than some of the others. I think Cars 3 is better than Cars 2. I have to see the first one in full, but to be honest, that's the bottom of that's below both of them at the moment. And Ocean's 8 is better than 12 and 13. Yeah, I'll go with that one. Fallen Kingdom, better than Jurassic World. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Yeah, let's go with that. So, yeah, looks like recently there have been some sequels that have been getting better. And could it continue with the next? Because the next couple of films I want to go and see, most of them are sequels to previous films. I want to see Incredibles 2, that's out July 13th, looking forward to that. First one's also being shown on the Disney Channel on that day. Maybe BBC One will show it on the Saturday, I don't know. Hoping they would do it before, but oh well. Mamma Mia 2, interested in that. The first one's a guilty pleasure, really liked that. Really enjoyed the first Incredibles as well. Mission Impossible 6, I started watching I watched the first one today, that was great. Going to see the second, fourth and fifth ones before I see number 6. 3 might be a bit more difficult, that might have to wait. I didn't watch any of the Alien films before Covenant, so and the same could get said for Predator. I've seen the first 2 and the AVPs, but 3, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know if I don't know if I'll see Predators before or after the Predator. Hotel Transylvania 3, surprisingly, yes, I do like these films. I think 2 is better than 1. Again, that's another one. 2012, 2015, 2018. I think the second one is better than the first one, so we'll see how the third one varies. And then, of course, Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2015, 2018. So, and that one, by the looks of the trailer, is probably going to be better than the first one by a long shot. So, yeah, most of the upcoming films I want to go and see are sequels, and ones that look like they're going to... Well, I don't know about Incredibles 2. I don't know about Mamma Mia. And I don't know about Hotel Transylvania, I don't know about Mission Impossible, but certainly Ant-Man and the Wasp looks like it's going to be better than the previous instalment. And as for Sicario 2, yes it is, but not by much, just a little bit. So I've kind of rambled on a little enough about movies, and Sicario 2 in particular being the review. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne YouTube channel. Hello, Liv. Sorry. Despite her character being, well, blunt. And I mean, well, her name's Blunt's character... fuck! Despite her character being as blunt as the name suggests. Or as they say in Mexico and Spain, adios. That is Spanish, right? That is Spanish for goodbye. I didn't get it wrong. Comment below if I got it wrong. I was French. Guten Tag is German for hello. I think it was, and Dutch. Oh, just comment below if I got it right or wrong. Bye.